Colin Molefe. So let's get on with the fighting right now. This will be the WBA Pan-African Super Middleweight title fight. This is scheduled for 12 rounds. So let's bring them in first. The challenger, all the way from Ghana, EMMANUEL ANIM. His opponent all the way from the DRC via South Africa, Patrick MUKALA. Now, the officials for this fight are judges Holtz, Khamlashe, and Snowball, and the referee will be Sia Vabasa. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we please first be upstanding for the national anthem of Ghana? And now the national anthem of the Democratic Republic of Congo. This will be the belt that they will be vying for right here, right now. This will be the WBA Pan-African Super Middleweight Contest scheduled for 12 rounds. Introducing the principals to you right now. He's wearing the blue and brown trunks. He's got a fight record of 14 fights, 13 wins with 1 loss. He weighed in at 76.2 kilograms. He is the challenger. All the way from Ghana, EMMANUEL, ANIM. His opponent, wearing the gold trunks with a black trim, he's had 12 fights, 11 wins, 1 loss. He weighed in at 76.15 kilograms. All the way from the DRC via the RSA. He is the champion, Patrick MUKALA. Boxers.
Spoken with you in the dressing room. Stick to the boxing rules. Protect yourselves at all times. Good luck. Shake hands. God bless you. Sai?
Well, a very interesting fight, this one. It's going to be an encounter with Patrick MUKALA, who we've seen a few times on our Africa's Boxing series, but not seen EMMANUEL ANIM for the very first time, coming in from Accra in Ghana. 13-13 is his record. 1-13, fought 13. Very useful challenger indeed. Weighing right on the limit, 76.2. Both of them orthodox boxers. The champion in the bright yellow shorts and the trunks red by the Ghanaian is black and, or classified I think as dark brown, but black and that very bright fluorescent yellow stripe down the side. This could be a tester for the champion, just what he was asking for. He's been asking for better opponents. With us ringside tonight is Peter Zwenis, who just caught a glimpse of there as he went by in his bright yellow scarf wrapped around his neck. You can see him top bottom left-hand corner. You can just see him in the opposite side of the ring there. He's the chairman of the Boxing Control Commission in Ghana. So he's come down to watch this fight. Well protected there. The Ghanaian kept his gloves up, arms up high. Good body work from the DRC man. You might well wonder why a DRC man is deciding to defend his title here in South Africa against the Ghanaian. Very simple reason. Is he resident here in Johannesburg? Got a lot of following. Got the centre of the ring, the Ghanaian at the moment. Couple of good lefts. Exchange of punches. Useful. Still just feeling each other out though in this opening round.
Break!
MUKALA is notoriously known for a slow start. And he's doing just that at the moment as well. Suppose he's sizing him up.
When you look at a man's record, it says he had 13 fights and won 13. It tells you something.
There has to be some respect.
Meanwhile, Patrick's had 12 fights rather. He's won 11 and lost the one. The one he lost was not a championship fight either. It was over a 10-rounder, which he just took and was advised not to, funny enough. Took it and lost. But he was not, his belt was not up for grabs on that occasion. Been an interesting round, this. Foraging, both boxers, but the Ghanaian, I think, has been foraging more.
Time!
Interesting round.
Very, I would say, there's some intent there.
Yeah.
I think the Ghanaian wants to show that, you know, he's come here to fight. He's given Patrick a good look up, and Patrick realizes he's going to be in for a busy evening. He hasn't really been tested in the last couple of fights. Hence he's calling for more, and you can see the Ghanaian already straight into attack. And this fight, which he's very keen on getting the belt, and you know, it's going to be Patrick's big night to hold on to it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. I think that first round was exactly what we expected it would be. Patrick's still standing in his corner. It's a habit he has. We'll wait and see if that continues all the way through the fight.
Box.
As you say, ask for a better opponent. I think he's got one.
Move the corner, please. Break. Step back, boxes. No holding. Step back.
The referee in this fight is Sia Vabaza. She comes from the Eastern Cape. Very capable young lady, no doubt about that. Seen her a few times on some of our bills as well, haven't we?
We have, certainly. Quite firm, strong, makes quick decisions.
Break. Don't shoot behind, okay. Break.
Good
Working the body well.
Good strong punches too. You see the intent there, there's no doubt about that. Patrick, as I say, only been beaten once, but that was a bit of stupidity on his side, why he lost. But he has had some easy opponents. His complaint was, in fact, that his opponents have been too easy. As you said earlier, Iqbal, that was his complaint. So we found him, this man. We couldn't find anybody in South Africa who's got the same sort of talent that he's got. There's no doubt about that. He's a very good, and now makes his home here from the DRC, Kinshasa. Now makes his home here in Johannesburg.
Funny enough, his handlers admitted last night that they finally got somebody, and they realized that he's a very, very strong opponent, and that Patrick will be given
Break. Step back.
a run for his money.
Yep.
And we can see it in the opening rounds.
Very cagey, both of them, aren't they? They both know that they can hit. That's the point. They both know they've got a challenger right in front of them. No doubt about that. I think I said earlier that Emmanuel Nin actually comes from Accra. He's based in Accra for his camp. All good punches from the Ghanaian. Good punches. 10 seconds to go before the bell, and got a few points there.
He hasn't fought outside Accra. It's his first one outside Accra, so it's interesting to see how he will perform in this sort of situation.
He's based there, but his home actually is funny. It's a place called Kumasi, which is right up the top there, almost where the gold comes from. The Ashanti people come from up that part of the world, and it's that's where he comes from. But I think he has a nickname actually called the Kumasi Assassin, I think they called him. So he's got a bit of talent.
They call him the powerhouse.
The powerhouse, okay. Well, the powerhouse is showing a bit of power in his punches, there's no doubt about that. That was a good left jab, actually. Keeps the jab going, Patrick. That's the one he's got to do. And then get inside those punches if he can.
Seconds out, round number 3.
That's the one that did connect. But Patrick rode it very well indeed.
Come shield. Box.
That's good referee. Wasn't too sure whether the Ghanaian had got his gum guard in. Wanted to quickly check that he had. Oh, that is a good right. That's a good right. Bit of a bravado there by the Ghanaian. Come on, bring it on. But I think at the end of the day, that was a very, very substantial punch. And another one. Ghanaians getting a little bit wayward.
It's always the case when you get hit and then you want to get a bit of aggro going and you want to get back into the fight, you start throwing punches and getting a bit wild. I think that's what he's just adopted that.
Very good right. And Patrick might say, here we are, I like that one, have another one. Have that one on me, in other words. He certainly did woke the man from Ghana up.
Break. Break, boxers. No blows. Break.
It's taken Patrick 2 rounds to size him up.
Yeah. Yes, he knew what he was up to, and he knew he could take a punch to see what happens. That's what happens with the boxers. They find out how hard they are punching. Can they take them? Can they expose themselves and open themselves up? That's the point.
Clean fight, boxers. Keep it clean, boxers.
If one of those punches comes over, am I able to take it and still come forward?
Patrick is getting a few good jabs in there as well.
Nice left. A few combinations don't really land, but
Don't hold. Don't hold. Break. Stand up, boxers. Break, break. No blows.
mustn't be too wild. Both of them can throw punches, there's no doubt about that.
Break! Break. When I say break, you don't hit. You don't talk to me back. When I say break, you step back.
Well done, referee.
Let's
Good
go.
refereeing. Good refereeing. Don't talk to me back.
Time.
Yeah, that's a good round. A good round of boxing, good round of intent. And I think on this occasion, Patrick would have just shaded the Ghanaian on that occasion.
He certainly did, Barry. I think, the opening rounds, the first two rounds, Patrick sized him up, saw what he was planning, what he was giving in those two rounds, and then opened him up and started getting his jab working. And I think when he started scoring points and when he hit him with one good right and then a left, the Ghanaian knew that the business work now starts. And I think the aggro came out, and you could see him trying to get the fight going. That's when the holding started, and then the warning
Seconds
came.
out. Round number 4.
Go back.
Scheduled 12 rounds, this one, the Pan-African Super Middleweight title. Patrick MUKALA, the man from the DRC in the yellow trunks. Slightly shorter than the Ghanaian, EMMANUEL ANIM. Based in Accra, originally from Kumasi. Oh, that one, just on the belt. Both boxers actually very interestingly, just sizing each other continually, trying to, almost like a game of chess, the way they're playing at the moment, just coming forward, throwing punches, walking away, seeing if they actually done any damage.
He's a strong boy.
The Ghanaian?
Look, Ghanaian's got, he's groomed well.
Break.
He's certainly, I mean, you look at Patrick MUKALA, he's better sort of physique.
I think they both know that they can receive a punch, and both know that they will receive punches as well. They're just sizing each other up continually, making sure that they're not going to flurry or lose,
Keep it clean.
should I say, wasted energy, because they're
Break,
going to
boxers,
need it.
break.
We're now into round 4, so a third of the way through this scheduled 12-rounder. And MUKALA just trying to push Min, the Ghanaian, out of reach if he can. There's a couple of good combinations there. 2 through to the body and 1 to the head, but more on the gloves, actually, the left on that occasion from the Ghanaian.
You can see he's much more focused, Barry. The eyes are just trained on
They're not
MUKALA.
leaving him, are they?
No,
They're not
no.
leaving him at all.
Break, boxers, break. No blows. Break, step back.
A little bit
Yeah,
low.
it's a little blow.
Low,
Break,
yeah, a little
break,
bit low.
break.
But you don't stand and look at the referee. Just
Keep your gloves
cover
up.
yourself up. No appealing. Great thing about this referee, she doesn't put up with showboating at all, which is great.
And she steers clear of the boxers.
Break.
huh?
Let them
Allows
fight.
them
Let
to
them
fight.
fight.
Let
No
them
blows.
fight.
Break.
Yeah, lets them fight completely. Interesting round. Could have been shaded by the Ghanaian. Could have been. Let's see how it looks like in the scorecards, but I think at this moment, this is a very even fight, in my opinion, the way it's going.
You know, in his previous fights, MUKALA had it so easy. And I think that, you know, coming into this fight here, thinking that, you know, a slow start would give him that advantage against an opponent who he knows very little about, I think may go against him. But we all know that he's got a good punch. He's put away quite a few of his
Seconds
opponents
out,
in
round
quick
number
succession.
5.
So he needs to do that. He needs to up his game now.
Box. Stop. Stop. Go there. Time. Time it.
Too much Vaseline. Too much grease on the face. Referee picks that up
Time
quickly.
in. Box on.
Oh, good left. Poke through, nice jab.
Break. Break. Break, boxers. Step back. Step back. No tapping. Step back.
So this is interesting, because that was a bit low as well.
Don't hold Patrick. Don't
reach.
hold him. Step back.
Out the
hold.
reach of the out the eyesight and back of the referee. She wouldn't have seen that. It's on the other side of her where she was standing.
Break. You cannot hit behind. Don't hold.
Turned away.
That's your second
He turned
caution.
away.
Let's go.
His corner shouts out box him,
Yeah.
which he isn't doing at the
No,
moment.
he's not.
It's unusual. He's turning around, giving him his back.
Break.
You know, he was more direct in his last 3 fights that we've seen. I think he may have picked his right opponent going forward.
But this opponent is coming forward to him. He's holding the centre of the ring and doing the attacking. Very rarely fighting on defence. He's just
Break,
coming
boxers.
forward
Break.
and running the glove
Break,
up and
don't
face.
hold.
Both got quite a bit of experience, and you see that experience is coming out.
Don't hit behind the head. Box.
Dropping his guard there. I don't like to see that by the champion. MUKALA, it's a habit of his. He does do that. He drops the guard, drops both hands. And a good boxer will really clean him up if he does that. Might tempt him coming forward, might think he can do it, but where his hands are, you can't get leverage from there. The only one that was going to give him any was the right, and he missed with it.
He's not giving him a chance to get off the ropes there. He's
coming forward all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
He's on the back foot, unable to express himself the way he wants to express himself.
He's not letting him take control of this fight, is he?
No way. I think it's a good round for the Ghanaian.
Yeah, interesting round. Both boxers hanging in there. And I think once again we've got MUKALA standing up, and I think this is the 6th round, the furthest he's been for some time, if I remember correctly.
Looking at my ears, yeah.
He's not gone past the 6th round for some considerable time.
I also think that there's a bit of worry on MUKALA's face. He's not getting his way, Barry, as he did in these last 2 or 3 fights. It was so easy against the Tanzanians. You know, having shouted the outs on better opponents,
Seconds out,
he's got one,
round number 6.
and he's into a fight, a real fight.
Come in. I want a clean fight. No holding, guys. Keep it clean, okay? Box.
Could hear a pin drop, couldn't you? Not a sound in the arena. Amazing.
That's when the lady talks, and I think she's done well. She's a good referee.
Break! Break!
Well, you can't have it all your own way, Patrick. That's what it's all about, to show you this man's a professional. And if you can't handle it like that, you've got to handle it best way you can.
Break!
Oh, good right. I think the arena's quiet because the DRC supporters are very, very concerned at this moment, I think, at this moment. They can see their boy, who hasn't gone too many rounds at all in the previous fights, now into one of the longest fights he's had for some considerable time, certainly as a championship fight anyway.
Well, now they would have been dancing.
Oh, they'd have been cheering and jumping around the arena. They always do, but this is quiet for them, very quiet for them.
It's a slap on the face for him.
Yes. But as you say, we keep repeating it, but it's a fact. He's complained about the type of opposition he's had in the last 3 fights. Been worried about them, or not worried about them, just the fact that he doesn't think he's been having a good fight. Wanted a better fighter. Promoters looked around to have a look for a fighter of some consequence and decided, would you accept this man coming from Ghana? And he said yes. Well, his camp said yes, and there we are. And he's certainly got a bit of work cut out at the moment.
To his credit, ANIM is not stepping back.
No.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm with you. That's what he's saying to Patrick MUKALA.
And I think they're both recognised, and I think Patrick has as well, that he's recognised that the man will take a punch. He's got to really hit him spot on, the right button to put him out on this one.
Break! Break, boxers! Break!
He knows exactly what he's doing. He's come away smiling. He's smiling because Patrick MUKALA actually had his head under his arm and was squeezing it. Was actually squeezing it. And he knew exactly what he was doing and why he was doing it. Which tells you as a boxer that your opponent is actually feeling a little ragged with what you're doing to him. So you can have some of this treatment from me. And that's exactly knew what he was doing. 2 professionals been 13 fights for the Ghanaian, 12 fights for Patrick MUKALA, the champion.
Time.
And none of them have been lost over the championship distance. Interesting fight.
Say.
I must admit, this is as close as it probably could possibly get.
Very close, I would say, Barry.
Very,
Agree with you.
yeah, very close. This is seesawing one way and the other, the way I have it on my scorecard. But then again, I'm just scoring as me. It has no effect at all on the outcome of the fight, I can tell you.
He's not backing off. He's
No.
not letting him go. He's not letting him do his own thing like he did in the last two fights that we've seen. He's landed a few. He's jabbed. He's got some points, accumulated the points. By now, the DRC
out.
supporters
Round
would have been
number
around
7.
the ring cheering him, but he hasn't lit them yet.
No,
Box.
he certainly hasn't. Well, let's see if he can lift them now. Halfway through we are in the scheduled 12-round championship fight here at the Samaropa Casino and Entertainment Centre in Polokwane. If you've never heard of where Polokwane, it's north of Johannesburg in South Africa. Ooh. Both jabbing. Slightly longer reach, the Ghanaian. I'm just checking on the records.
He looks so much fitter than what
Different altogether, doesn't he?
altogether.
Break, boxers. Don't hold him.
A little bit older, so maybe a bit more experience, but a little bit older is the Ghanaian. But he's certainly come to fight. He said he would. And this is what I like to see, a boxer, professional who says, I'm coming to fight. Don't worry about that. I'm coming to fight.
Maybe a wiser head.
Break, boxers. Break. Break. Don't hold him.
Hey, whoa, we can't do that.
Don't hold him.
Can't do that, Patrick. We'll push up with the head. Surprised Samir didn't see that.
Break. Don't wrestle.
Out he comes again. That Ghanaian's up on his toes, just coming at him.
Stop. You're hitting behind the head. Boxer.
Is it frustration, Barry?
Yes,
Don't press him
I
down.
think it
Don't
is.
press him down, Patrick.
I think it's frustration because he's not having his own way, which he's always had in his fights previously.
Break. Break, boxers.
We haven't seen that from Patrick. Haven't.
Cannot balance on him.
In the opening round,
Yeah.
he tried to grab him as well, tried to lift him. He's done it again.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There's a bit of blood somewhere is coming out of someone. I don't know who it is, which one yet. I can't quite find out. But a little bit of blood came there because I know that because it's all on my notes on my on my sheet.
Oh,
And you've
I've
got
got
it
some
as
as
well.
well.
Yes, on your notes as well. So I don't know where that's come from. I looked at my shirt as well. No, we're okay. We're quite clean.
Break. Break,
there's blood
boxers. No
coming from
blocks.
somewhere.
Step
It
back.
must have been
Step
a
back. Don't hold him.
bit of one of
Let's
those
go.
punches.
Let's go.
I think it's from the Ghanaian. That must be frustrating because the Ghanaian is just coming and coming and coming. Amazing, amazing fight this has been, I must admit. Probably find that there's just like almost one punch in it in each one of the rounds, and it's been that one punch that probably will be a deciding factor when you look at it. Now this is actually crazy. Yeah, he's trying to push his hand and push his whole weight into his stomach to lift himself
Bit
off.
of
Patrick.
gamesmanship there.
Yeah.
He knows. He
Trust him,
knows
that's what he's doing.
He knows that he's got a busy night ahead of him. He knows that he can't get through
Yeah.
the defenses of the Ghanaian. He knows that the Ghanaian is getting up right on top of him.
Round number
And
8.
he just can't get his own way. And that's what's frustrating
it's not
him, and
allowed,
hence
no. It's not
pulling,
allowed.
pushing,
Too much. Go
holding,
to your corner.
and also being warned by the referee for hitting
Box.
at the back of the head as well.
Yep. Coming into the
One push.
second half of the fight. And it's been a fascinating one because the Ghanaian is just keeping coming forward. He's not
Break,
stopping, he's
boxers,
not allowing.
break. Keep it clean. Break. No close. Don't hold him. Don't hold.
If you look
Break.
at the two boxers, the more weary one is Patrick MUKALA.
Seems to be at this moment. Good left jab. Tried it with the right, but too quick in defense was the Ghanaian. Got away from it. ANIM is very strong. There's no doubt about that. And he's certainly putting as much pressure on Patrick as he possibly can. MUKALA, the champion.
Break. Break, boxers. Don't
Even
hold.
now,
Don't
they're
hold
pushing down on him.
Step back. Step back. Don't hold.
Looks like he's breathing hard, MUKALA, at the moment. Big deep breath. Oh, good left, no
It's
left.
going to take one punch to put it away. It's going to take one.
From whom is the question?
It's
From whom? Because it's going to be the one. Oh, it's a good right. Good right.
Break.
I think MUKALA is searching today.
He's not. He's usually up on his toes, jabbing and moving, is he?
He's not.
Not doing that at all.
He's not that agile as we've seen him in other fights. Certainly not.
Keep it
Not
clean, guys. Don't
that-
hold.
Not the man that
Break.
he oozes confidence.
Break, boxers. Step back. Break. Break. You're holding. Break. I want a clean fight. I want a clean fight, boxers.
That's what he should be doing. Should be coming in from behind that left jab of his. Just a couple of good jabs there, got him away. And I thought that could be interesting. But it's as even as it could possibly get. I'm not too sure how we're looking at this one, but I wouldn't want to judge this at all, to be honest with you. It's a very, very difficult fight to judge.
Thank you.
I think there's some worried faces in the
Tawil camp?
Ashley Fury camp.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I meant that.
I think there's a bit of concern because he's opening himself like he did there with the good right that he got into. It was a good one. He's opened himself. He's dropped his guard. He's dropped his guard.
I was saying in the earlier rounds, remember, he picked that up early after about 4 or 5 rounds.
Second
His
round,
arms are
round
way
number
down,
9.
far too far down, in fact, because you have no leverage at that moment to throw punches from. So round number 9 we go into, just 4 rounds to go. 2/3 of the way through this championship fight here at Polokwane. And I think it's just been totally cagey all the way around, isn't it? It's been no fireworks at all from both boxers. They both respect each other tremendously, but now it's getting to the
Business end.
business end of the fight. Yes, the business end of the fight. think what's happened here is they've actually, MUKALA, the champion in the yellow trunks, has thrown so many punches and none of them had any effect at all on the Ghanaian. He's just kept walking forward. And that is frustrating from the boxer. That's a good combination from MUKALA, only to liven up the Ghanaian very quickly to get into those punches.
Step back, don't hold him.
He hasn't been taken more than 5 rounds before. Is it that reason? Is he fit enough to go the 12?
Well,
it could be a question.
He went the 10 on the non-championship fight, remember, didn't he, in South Africa, in Johannesburg? It went 10 rounds. That was a non-championship fight. More or less, everyone thought it was possibly...
Yes, good one.
Stop
Good
complaining.
one.
Yeah, stop complaining. The Ghanaians, if you're looking at the referee, you're not concentrating. That was very stupid. So now MUKALA really does have to work, get himself back into this fight and get him back into this round.
Break! Break! Step back. I'm warning you, I'm holding.
Heads in there, he's giving some of his own medicine. You can't turn away like that. You turn away like that, you'll be in trouble.
Break! I want a clean fight here. Step back.
Elbow. Everything's going in here. There's so much professionalism in this fight. It's interesting to watch. It's not just a one-way traffic. Both boxers give in as much as they possibly can. But
Great right from...
And the Ghanaian is just coming forward completely.
ANIM has smelled something. I think he's sensed that he's got the better of him, and that he's on that winning trail now. Patrick MUKALA seems to be battling. His corner's trying to get him going. You can see with the way that his eyes are beginning to be a bit puffy as well. If you look at where Ashley is putting the towel through now.
Yeah, good combinations in that round from the Ghanaian, and him is a very strong character, no doubt about it. No matter how many punches he's throwing, he's coming straight through them.
That's the one that could rattle.
Seconds out.
Oh,
Round
another
number
good
10.
one. Good combination.
Out! Please keep it clean, boxers. All right. Box. Break.
He's not letting up. He's after him all the time. He
Doesn't stop, does he?
He's tagged him all the way.
The only thing is on this one now, he's been a little bit reckless. Now, I'm wondering whether he's actually running out of steam. Remember, they've been here since Monday, the Ghanaians, but remember, at 6,000 feet here, above sea level, the altitude does get to you. All sportsmen and women suffer from that when they've been here. Fatigue comes in, and we're now into the, as you said earlier, the business part of the fight.
Break. Keep it clean, boxers, please. Keep it clean.
MUKALA shouldn't be affected. He's resident here, but the Ghanaian could be. Remember, you're coming in from sea level and on the west coast
Stop!
of Africa.
That's an illegal blow.
He knows what he's doing.
Don't hold. That's your
Don't
second
hold.
caution.
That's it. I can't tell you anymore. I think that's probably what she's saying.
He's been given 2 warnings.
Yes.
I think he could have a point deducted as well if he doesn't watch out.
Good left. Strong body work this. Both boxers, I think. I thought MUKALA was actually a little tired in the earlier rounds. He seems to have got a bit more energy coming back now. Or maybe it's the fact that ANIM is beginning to tire slightly as we're moving into the final couple of rounds.
You probably would,
Break, step back.
like you spoke about the altitude effect.
Break. No blows, no blows.
If you look at this fight, these are two professional and quite experienced professional boxers having a go at each other because they know exactly
Mind your
what they're
heads,
doing.
both of you.
They're holding in all the right places. The arms and the elbows in particular are going in. That's head down, both heads. There's referee. There's a bit of a clash there of heads hitting each other, but they're coming in like that, both of them. And the taller man, ANIM, is getting a little bit of a push up the glove, up the face. Not allowed to do that, by the way, but this is typical professional boxing.
Again, here we go.
MUKALA's got his work cut out. That's the way I see it. So, the Ghanaian boxer, interestingly,
I think Barry MUKALA's had one of the busiest nights he's ever had in his career, and I think if he needs to defend that title, if he wants to go back with that belt, he needs a knockout here.
he needs a couple of really big rounds.
He's
Big
got
rounds.
no chance of winning on points. He's going to need a big one punch to get rid of the Ghanaian. Oh, he's going to lose that belt.
He's still standing, which is not always something I like to see in a boxer. I like to see him sitting on the stool, just
Second
taking the
round,
full
round number
the
11.
full minute and get the diaphragm going as well. That's important while you're sitting down. You can't always do that when you're standing up. As I was saying earlier, MUKALA just hasn't got on his toes at all tonight, has he? He's not
No,
been up
no,
there
no, he hasn't.
jabbing.
It's not the MUKALA that we've seen before.
Well, he's not been allowed to as well. Let's give him fair dues on this. The Ghanaian has just kept coming, pestering, getting in his face, not allowing him to get up his toe on his toes and jabbing and getting himself in and boxing. He's not been allowed to do that.
The head's gone from the Ghanaian as well.
Yeah. It's not so much boxing as slugging, isn't it? This has been a brawl rather than a fight. Or should I say classic boxing. It's been a fight, all right, but it's been a brawl.
Break. Your head, your head.
I think the judges have got their work cut out to score this one.
Got him again.
Yep, keeps coming forward. Makes it very, very difficult for the man from the DRC. Very, very difficult.
Break. Keep it clean. Step back.
He's had a busy night. He certainly has.
Well, he's had a tough night. That's a certainty. And he's had an opponent
Break,
that he
boxers,
wanted.
break. Don't hold
Can't
him.
keep saying it more than we have. He asked for an opponent that was better than what he had previously. And I think he's found someone that's been very difficult to fight. Very difficult indeed to take the fight to him because there's no way he could have done it because the Ghanaian's in his face continually on this one. Deep breaths from the man from the Congo. Another one coming up there.
That's where he's been scoring.
Out of the break. He comes out of the break, up he comes and throws.
Don't hold.
Straight in again. Straight in again. If you're the boxer, if you're the man from the DRC, the champion, it must be exceedingly frustrating, to say the least, to find him in your face continually like that. And he keeps coming forward, and right over the top. Bit wild, but they certainly do land now and again, and they score punches. I mean, they score points every time they do it. So it's
MUKALA's missed more than landed
Break.
punches.
Break boxes. Break.
Look at him.
Break.
He's gone back to the bottom end.
These are one of these fights I'd like to sit down with a judge and say, how did you score each round? Because I'd love to sit and find out how they're doing it, because believe you me, there's very little in it, to be honest with you, but it is a case that it's frustrating. This man here, the champion, 1 round to defend his title and keep it,
Thank you.
and the challenger has been doing most of the, should I say, attacking through the evening? Just attacking, completely attacking. Not letting the guy, letting Patrick MUKALA even get away. That's the sort of thing he's doing. Scoring punches, scoring points, missing considerably with most of them.
We're going for the
But it's
last chicken.
He's the man that's feeding.
fascinating.
这个 round.
He's the man,
This is
Patrick
the
MUKALA
third
is the
and the
man that's
final
feeding.
round. Shake hands.
Touch gloves. Good luck. Step back, step back. Let's go. Let's do this.
Championship time, this is. Championship belt
Guys,
time.
last
Patrick
round.
MUKALA, the
No,
champion,
no.
the
No tapping
WBA
behind the
Pan
head
African
of
super
Tokyo.
middleweight
Let's keep it
champion.
clean. Last round, guys. Let's go.
And already getting a little lecture from the referee.
Open him up.
Oh, my word.
Good left to his chin.
Break. No blows.
Solid
Patrick.
punches.
Break boxes. No blows. Last round, guys. Let's do this.
Both of them going for that big bomb, aren't they? That's the thing.
They're looking for it.
Yeah, good left came through there.
I think Patrick Moore,
Break.
Yeah,
the
he knows
reason
it.
being that he knows
No,
he
don't
could be
hold, step
behind on points, and he needs a big one to end it.
Break.
Heads going in, everything happening there. Good punch and punch. That's what he should have been doing it earlier, just to get that left
He
jab.
left it too late.
Keep it clean, guys. Last round. Let's do this.
Becoming a brawl.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say becoming. I think he's been one completely all the way through.
Don't hold him.
Well, this has been no pushover. Whoever wins this one, they've had a night's work ahead of them. No doubt about that. They've done well. 12 rounds of
Break.
international boxing.
Break.
He's been made to work for a change,
He has.
Patrick.
Let him go. Don't hold him. We'll take it back. Stop. Step back.
Into the last 10 of 13 minutes, no seconds to go.
10 seconds to go.
Oh, he's dropped it.
3,
He has.
5,
He has.
6.
He says no, but I think it was a...
He has.
Box.
Well, there you go.
That's the fight.
Yeah, and that actually could be the deciding part of the fight.
That's a 10-8 round.
Eh?
That's a 10-8
Yeah,
round.
that's what I'm saying. That could be the deciding part of the fight. So once again, as you can always see, typical professional boxers, in fact, typical boxers all over the world. They hate each other before they get in the ring. They just always animate their own feelings and how they're feeling about the night's events coming up. And at the end of it all, regardless of the circumstances, at the end of it all, they go across, or should I say they're magnanimous enough to actually go across and say well done to their opponents. Classified as a knockdown. That'll be a 10-8 round. Yeah, just glanced him though. I think maybe he was on his way down. We've glanced him. Interesting. Referee thought that, judged that to be a knockdown, and a knockdown, it was counted. That has to keep on your scorecard.
He's been put through the mill today.
He has. And he needed to be. That's
yeah.
what he wanted. So let's see how he's come out of this. Let's see what he wanted and how he came out. His corner man there, Town, and he thinks he's done well. And I tell you what, I think he's done well as well. It could be an interesting number or two there. It could be. It's either one of those fights where it's a one point difference all the time.
1 or 2 point.
And you get that, when you see that sort of thing happening, you know that it's been very tight. And I think that last round, that 10-8 could have played
A role.
Yeah, a big role in it by giving the 10-8 knockdown. They could well have played the role. We'll wait and see what happens, but it really could have done. And I think he probably will say afterwards, I didn't fight the right fight. I didn't get up on my toes like I normally do, and I get there jabbing and punching and jabbing and weaving. Could have done that. But you know what? I think that corner's a little concerned. And it's a case, really, we'll have to wait and see. This one's got more smiles on its face. The Ghanaians are a little bit happier. Maybe I'll put it that way. Happier. It's an interesting scenario. So the scorecards being tallied while we talk to you right in front of us. You can see the judge, the referee there.
I think she's done very well with the fight.
Yeah, see there's a Babaza from the Eastern Cape. She's the referee there. Now the Gerald Ramsden, the WBA supervisor. He's making sure all the numbers add up. The man you can see just there next door to Stan Christodoulou, the man with no hair on the right-hand side, right to the leg of the referee. Gerald Ramsden with glasses there in front of us. And the man with you might see jump up in a heck of a hurry is the man right between Brian Mulder's legs there, sort of with the scarf on, the yellow. That yellow scarf is on Peter Zwenes, who is the chairman of the Ghanaian Boxing Control Board, who's come down as well. As you said, families all come down to watch him fight, and so is the chairman of the board. He's come down as well from Ghana.
They're well represented, Barry.
Yes. Yeah,
I suppose they knew something.
Maybe that was the answer. Yeah, we don't fly all that way with a maybe, do we?
Here's the man that we're talking about.
Yeah, there he is there, Peter Zwenes. A nice fella. And got, of course, a couple of world champions. Got one world champion at the moment, useful boxer, and he's hoping for another 2 or 3 boxers as well coming out of Ghana to be, of course, phenomenal track history of boxers in Ghana. Incredible. Coming through, useful boxers. But it's been a good fight for MUKALA, whatever happens. If he retains his title, I hope he takes this lesson with him. If he doesn't retain his title, I hope he also takes the lesson with him and say, I did wrongly there. There's the general manager of Fox Sports and Fox South Africa.
So I'd like to please, everybody, put your hands together and give these fighters a nice warm round of applause. We've got the general manager of the Sun Maropa in with us, Peter Guthrie. Thank you very much. The judges have scored this fight as followed. Judge Neville Holt scores the fight 112-115. Judge Wally Snowball scores the fight 114-113. Judge Slamlashi scores the fight 114, 114. It's a majority draw. That means he still retains the championship.
Whoa.
MUKALA!
Well, there we are. That couldn't be any closer, could it not? That could not have been a closer fight.
That's very interesting, Barry. I thought in the final round, with that countdown, that took place, I thought that was a 2-pointer which could have made the difference. So they gave it a 10-9. And
Would you give both fighters a warm round of applause?
I had it as
the victor and the vanquished.
To the Ghanaian, and 112 to the Republic of Democratic fighter.
I had it a little bit higher than that, 115, 114 to the Ghanaian. So maybe there's a little bit of bias on my part. I thought he'd done well enough
Thanks
to actually,
to General Manager
that's
Peter
how close
Guthrie
it was. If you think about it, you had it different, I had it different, and that's how close it
General
was.
Ramsden.
Yeah.
And I think it means that we're going to have a rematch in this.
I think we definitely. So an incredible fight, no doubt about that. Wonderful fight indeed. I tell you what, we'll have to put that back on the bill again. I think that's good enough to go back on the bill. But coming up on later, in fact after the break, will be this catchweight contest. Okukwetsi from Botswana against Maniklana from South Africa. See you in a moment.
Out here, it takes a thick skin to survive. Because in the unforgiving American Southwest, if you can't take the heat, you become the meal. Brand new America the Beautiful Wild Southwest. Sundays at 6 on Nat Geo Wild.
I'm Cookie Lie. I'm gonna change your life.
Never seen a girl like me that never put a hold on.
We lost in power, but we are still here.
Do it on my own.
If anybody can build magic again, it's y'all.
I do it on my own.
Let's sing the song, child.
Ooh, never seen nobody like me.
May we ride.
Like always.